Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. Have you ever thought what the best snake to keep is? Well, we're going to do a tournament to find out, and someone's getting shot with a paintball gun. You're watching SnakeBytes. I get asked all the time, what's the best snake to keep? And although everyone has an opinion and no one's really wrong, I decided to put on a tournament, the SnakeBytes Deathmatch. Now nothing's going to get hurt. All we're going to do is take 8 different types of snakes that we think are the best animals, put them into some brackets, and we're going to let you, the people, decide. So let's go and meet our contestants. The first animal is of course going to be a ball python, and you know I'm huge into ball pythons and they're a really big part of the reptile community, so you can't have a best snake contest without ball pythons. Okay, my Cinderella seed is the blood pythons. I tell you what, these guys are not the popular animal like a ball python, but they're really cool with their temperament. They're a little feisty, but still really fun to work with. And as you can see, they're really hefty-bodied animals and really beautiful. It'll be interesting to see how they do against the other competition. Now my money is on ball pythons, but if anything has a chance to upset them, it would certainly be boas. And now when I say boas, I'm going to talk about anything from true red tails to hog islands to Central Americans to Colombians. So any boa constrictor. These guys have been a staple in the pet trade for the last 50 or 60 years, so these are truly a powerhouse. The next one's going to be big snakes, and of course I've got Sunshine here, which is one of my favorite snakes, certainly an MVP when it comes to cool snakes, but you guys know all about Satan too, and I'm going to put this category into Burmese pythons, rock pythons, retics, everything. And as you can see, these are awesome snakes. I always say they're not for everybody, but if you handle them properly, they are incredible animals, and I personally think they'll do well in this competition. So we're at the end of the summer movie season, and I'm a huge movie buff, so I've seen pretty much all of them. Thor definitely took the cake. I was a little disappointed in Green Lantern, and Transformers 3 was, I guess, so-so. But what I want to know is what movie you guys liked the best this summer. Go ahead and comment down below on the coolest movie and why you liked it. Carpet pythons are becoming really popular, and now with all the color mutations out there, they're even becoming really big investment quality animals. So I felt it was really important to include them into this competition. I personally have loved carpet pythons for the last 20 years, so I tell you what, I think these guys are going to do well, but in the end, it's all up to you guys. This is another long shot, but the green tree pythons have a huge following and people really love them, and I felt if I didn't include them into the top 8 that I'd get a lot of negative feedback. So here you go, green tree pythons. Another really high seed would be corn snakes. They're a huge part of the hobby, and a lot of people's first pet snake happen to be corn snakes. As a matter of fact, corn snakes are what started my breeding project when I was really young, so there's no doubt that these guys are going to be hard to beat. And the last seed is going to be king snakes. Now I'm talking about Cal Kings, Brooks Kings, Goinai, and in this case, a Mexican black king. Now king snakes are a large part of the colubrid pet trade, so I think they're going to do pretty good in this competition. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first matchup this week, which is going to be ball pythons and blood pythons. All right, we're going to start off with blood pythons and ball pythons in the first competition. Now, when I say blood pythons, I'm going to include short tail pythons because I realize they're two different things. And I tell you what, blood pythons are really cool because they're kind of a unique animal. They're definitely a niche. There's some cool color phases out there. But one of the downsides to blood pythons is their attitude. You know, sometimes you just can't really predict what they're going to do. And you can see with this black short tail python, it's actually acting pretty good, but I know from experience that this animal could snap at any time. And again, I'd say that that's their one downside, is that their mentality or temperament seems to be a little bit dodgy. Other than that, you can see how beautiful of animals they are. And I tell you what, when it comes to just personality and just overall look, these guys are going to be hard to beat. And going up against the blood pythons or short-tailed pythons are ball pythons. What more can I say about ball pythons? I've been talking about them for 3 years on the show. They're incredible animals. They're really good pets. They have a ton of color phases, so you can get a lot of different colors if you're interested. And they're relatively cheap now compared to what they used to be, even though they're still animals that are going for up to $50,000. Now, this is how it's going to work, guys. You guys are going to decide what's better, a ball python or a blood python. python. You're going to comment down below. I'm going to tally up the votes, and then the winner is going to move on to the next bracket. We're going to do this each week for the next several weeks till we get down to the last snake, and then you guys are going to crown the coolest snake out there. Since we're in tournament mode here at BHB, and George and Chewy are always talking smack towards one another about how great they are, we decided to come up with a 5-part challenge. Now we're going to test their intelligence, their speed, and their strength. Each time they win, they get 1 paintball that they can use to shoot the other person. At the end of the 5 challenges, they'll face off. Let's go ahead and start the first challenge. First challenge, the betting relay. What they have to do is pick up 1 bag at a time, run down here, put it beyond this line without breaking the bag. First one that finishes all 4 bags wins. Ready, set, go! I see that George has decided to go the barefoot route. They're almost tied there. Chewy's doing surprisingly well. George has got the first one. He's got a narrow lead, but it is close. Chewy is almost not across the line here. George is taking a little bit of a lead. He's got the 3rd bag down. Chewy's got his 3rd bag down. It did fall over. He's on the last bag. It looks like George is going to take this one, and Chewy gives up. Okay, so it was a close race right up to the end. George did take it. He gets 1 paintball. On to the next challenge. It's extremely hot back in our snake room, so hydration is really important when it comes to snake breeding. So in this challenge, we're going to see which one of these guys can down an entire bottle of water without having any of it spill on them. Whoever finishes first wins a paintball. Okay, here's 2 unopened waters. Do not open them till I say go. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. I think Chewy's got the early lead on this one. He's squeezing the bottle. He's not just waiting for it. He doesn't even want gravity to take hold. He wants to finish it, and Chewy does win. By only a little bit. George almost gets it. I tell you what, that was a really close race, but no doubt Chewy won that one. For the 3rd challenge, it's going to be a speed challenge. When you're breeding snakes, you have a lot of tubs to watch, which means you have to stack those tubs to dry. Each one of these guys have 24 tubs. They have to stack them, interlacing each other without knocking them over. Whoever finishes first wins the paintball. Ready, Chewy?
Yep.
Ready, George?
Yep.
On my mark, get set, go! All right, Chewy is out to a little bit of a lead, but George is right behind him. Oop, George just flubbed it up a little bit. Now it's about getting his base back together. He's moving along. They're neck and neck right now, but they both realize that speed isn't everything. It's also the base that they have. Oh, Chewy's number 1. Chewy goes down. All right, Chewy's back on it. George is down to the last one. 1, 2, 3, George wins.
Boom! Paintball!
Okay, for the 4th challenge, it's going to be all about strength. When you're wrangling big snakes, you have to be relatively strong. And the only way I could think about trying to prove this is if you could throw a ball as far as you can. Whoever gets the furthest throw wins the paintball. I'm going to go down there and mark the throws. All right, Chewy. Now I'm only going to count where it lands. As you can see, Chewy had a good first throw. Now it's George's turn. George, you have to throw it further than Chewy is standing whenever you're ready. Ooh, not too bad. George, it was a good throw, but obviously not good enough. This is a test of intelligence. I'm going to ask a snake trivia question, which the answer will be a date. Whichever one of them gets closest to that date will win the 5th and final paintball. You guys ready? All right, guys, there's no time limit on this, so take your time and make the best guess that you possibly can, unless, of course, you know the answer. The question is, what year was the first albino ball python produced in captivity? Okay, you guys are done? George, where's your answer? George answered 1990. Chewy, 1998. The actual answer is 1992. George, you win the final paintball. Let's go shoot some guns. George won 3 out of the 5 challenges and didn't get hit by a paintball, so I have to declare him the victor. If you guys have any cool challenges you want these guys to go at, go ahead and comment down below and we'll see what we can do for you. For this week's Comment of the Week, the question was, what snakes need more attention? And Ultimate Synthesis said,
I would like to see more colubrids, and some Baird's rat snakes would be cool. I have a male and he is awesome. They are a good looking snake that some people have never heard of, lol, but some rat snake morphs would be cool to show.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and being a colubrid guy myself, I do think they need some more love, and I really dig Baird's rat snakes too. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and make sure to vote and comment down below on the Snake Bites Deathmatch to see what the coolest snake is. Over on my Facebook page, Stephen McNally said he wanted to see a sterling ball python, so here you go. Until next time, this has been Snake Bites.